Big Questions with the Dead Milkmen.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Big Questions. This week is my, as we're calling it, Beans Free for All. I actually selected a couple of questions from the previous week or so, or a month or so videos from viewers, and we're going to try and just kind of have a round robin answer fest. So let's start out. The first question is, Mystninja asks, what if you played two delays in reverse? In other words, I think that relates to Joe's pedalboard demo video from last week. So do you think that they would cancel each other out, or who knows what would happen?
I'm pretty sure that you'll get forwards if you play something that's in reverse. So if you have two of my pedals and you both have them set to reverse and you chain them together and you put something into it, it's going to reverse it. But then the signal that's reversed is going to go into the next pedal and it's going to reverse it and it's going to go forward. It probably won't sound exactly like a forward thing because it's been modified digitally, and then it might be interesting. Plus you'll have two delays going against each other. I don't have two of those pedals, so I can't do it. I do know that if you play a record backwards that has backwards masking on it, you hear it forwards. That's the same principle, pretty much.
Yeah, but the attack and everything, like Twin Peaks, when they would take somebody speaking backwards and play it forward, it always sounds weird because the attack is different. It doesn't sound like
might. Yeah. And we did this in the song "Pretty Music for Pretty People." If you look at that video, you can see it, the making of it.
Yeah,
you'll hear us say "ear candy" backwards so that
I remember that. That was Dan's idea, wasn't it?
I always wondered about if you had two flange pedals and you had them like set the same way, but they started at different, like, would that be like,
out of fate? Yeah.
Yeah, there's also the thing where if you take a WAV file and you mirror it, of course, polarity would zero it out. You wouldn't hear anything. So
thank you, Doctor Who, reversing the polarity. Next time we're in the studio, let's get a humidifier and a dehumidifier and set them at each other. See how that works out. See if we get sucked into some weird alternate universe.
Right. Okay, let's move on to the next question. The next question is from Paul Murray, and he says, ever use the tin whistle on a recording?
Yeah, I have. That is the tin whistle that you hear on Woman Who Is Also a Mongoose. And I will occasionally travel with it, and it always makes me nervous. But also, if you want to seek something weird out, I was in a band called Burn Witch Burn for a little while, which was a gothic Celtic rock band. It was bizarre. And the stuff is out there on the interwebs, and I'll put up some links. But I actually used it. There's an old Irish tune called Ruffy Tuffy, and you can hear me play the hell out of it. I'm pretty proud of how my pulled that one off. So you can hear me play on Ruffy Tuffy, and which I'm very pleased that I got to do that, because a lot of people don't think of me as an Irish musician, not Irish, but and then also there's a song called Painting the Furniture Black, where you can hear it kind of where I'm not going at full speed. I'm just playing it nicely and got to get the full sense of the thing. So I'll put the links up to those, but be warned. It is a strange, if you go down that, just following all those songs down that rabbit hole, you're doomed to find some weird stuff. So I've warned you. Yeah.
It's good stuff. I remember seeing you guys live a few times. Okay, let's move on to the next question. The next question is from Jonathan Douglas, and he says, any chance of a European tour and going back to Brussels? Now, I'll chime in here first. That says, I would love to go back to Europe. In fact, Rodney and I had such a good time in Brussels that
I don't remember.
We had to use a church steeple to find our way back to the hotel at like 5 in the morning.
Oh God! Oh, it's starting to come back to me.
That was a very wild night.
Belgium, yeah.
You use a church steeple?
Yeah, because it was like a landmark.
Out
and about, and I was like, we know the hotel is sort of towards the church, so let's go that way. We can probably find it.
Dan and I did that in Austin. once. We were faced, and we used I that's the thing I figured out years ago. I can use landmarks, like in Toronto with the big tower and everything. If you're a little under the weather, you can just point there and go, oh, I can make it home, and just follow those.
I would love to go to Europe. Joe and I were there with the low budgets in 2006. We actually were in Brussels briefly. We didn't have a show, but we just wanted to go there. Yes. And we stayed at this old, like, what was it, Tapas Day or something? It was a monastery, an old one. And these like kids, ostensibly kids lived there. And one guy was from California. And we stayed there, and it was amazing. It was really, really old. I think it was like 1,000 years old or something. And they had like all the old original structures there. Sorry, I went off on a tangent.
It's a beautiful city.
Yeah, I'd like to go back to the Atomium.
So someone book us there.
Yeah, sometimes it's a pain in the ass because you get 6 people, they don't get the humor, they don't, so my thing is I could take it or leave it. Like playing live is bad enough. Playing live to 24 people who don't understand what you're talking about could be painful. So
next question is Shattered Bulbs. Says, when is Rodney's book coming out?
Oh, I'm glad you asked, because I've been super busy, and that's part of what was holding my book up. My schedule is nuts. Like, just example, we played last weekend. I was basically had to work Sunday, do some work on Monday. Tuesday, I was at the polls all day. Wednesday, we had practice. And this is what I'm doing on Thursday night. And then I'm going from here to my first show with a concert I've gone to see in 2.5 years. So I'm always super busy. So I have to prioritize everything. That said, the introduction to the book, if you remember, was called Who Killed Underground Music. And I kind of like I probably won't edit up the intro much, but it was the idea of the Ides of March, saying not one person, but a bunch of different factors stabbed underground music to death. The book's going to piss a lot of people off. And then, so what happened was I got one party was interested and, but didn't understand the book. They were one of those people that thought like LCD Sound System was an underground band. And when I started explaining things, they got kind of disinterested. One other one showed some interest, another publisher, but asked me if I could pull it back a little bit. For example, I think in their presence, I referred to, and I said I was going to use in the book, I referred to the Tiny Desk concerts on NPR as the Tiny Dick concerts. And I just, I'm like, no, because there should be anger in all this, because I want a fair playing field is the premise of the book. So I do take it out. I work on it every now and then and go at it. But again, as priority wise, I have so many things stacked up that, and I'm always doing something. So if I get like a few free minutes, I'll go back in, work on it some more. So if you know a publisher who wants to have their publishing house burnt down by angry people who think that what they're listening to is underground music, then let me know. I was using names, I was using radio station names and all this stuff. So they were like, well, our lawyer might be pretty busy. And then, that whole conversation petered out. So I don't think the one of the two who might have been interested, publishing houses. So who knows? One day I might self-publish it. I don't know. The point of the book is the underground music, the music industry that we have now that perpetuates all this horrible alt rock shit, also known as any group that was signed to 4AD after the year 2000. That what happens with that is that will be there forever. That system is in place. We've had hipster music for 20 years, and it probably won't go anywhere else because there's nobody in a position to stand up and say, hey, maybe this isn't that good. They basically have the record companies, the radio, and the writers. So there's no chance that so I could finish that book when I'm 80 and probably still be the same music scene. Boy, I hope I pissed some people off saying that.
Okay, there you have it.
I guess we don't have to answer that question.
This next question is directed at Joe. James Edwards asks, Joe, I understand you lived in Buffalo. Are you still there?
No, I'm in Pennsylvania.
I don't think you've ever lived in Buffalo.
I don't remember living in Buffalo.
I wonder where that came from.
I don't know.
Well, actually,
Spent
guys,
a night in Buffalo.
these pedals came
At
from
least
Buffalo.
maybe.
There
They
probably
come
is
from Buffalo.
some-
Oh wow, you got some
I'm
pedals.
trying to get more views by bringing up guitar.
Oh wow, you got a Joyo pedal.
Yeah, it has these little turny things on
Make
it.
that the
I really
thumbnail
enjoy.
right there.
I really enjoy the little turny things.
I call
I
them
forgot
buttons,
to bring
but
these.
they're really knobs.
Yeah, I forgot to bring these out. I was going to say on the Tim Whistle thing. I was like, yes, you probably didn't recognize because I played it through these pedals and through the cool little bit crusher that Dean gave me. But then I forgot, and I thought, oh, I better get these up on camera if we want, because we found out that Joe's pedal video was very successful. So.
We used to know
Buffalo,
somebody
Buffalo,
named
Buffalo,
Buffalo Joe.
Buffalo.
Yeah, I remember. Didn't we know a Buffalo Joe?
Yeah, but I don't even think he was from Buffalo.
No, wasn't he from Iowa?
Yes.
Joe Buffalo. Yeah.
Oh, that's right, Joe Buffalo.
Yeah, Joe Buffalo.
Not Buffalo Joe.
Did he put, I forget, did he put on some of our first shows when we toured for the first time out there?
Probably. He had a fanzine called Buffalo or something.
Did we play in his basement?
I don't remember that much.
Okay. Yeah. So, James, I'm not sure where you got the information that Joe lived in Buffalo.
You're wrong.
Maybe
You're
it's
wrong.
that
You're
song,
wrong.
the woman who is also a mongoose, because she came
won
from
a free
town
guitar
near
pedal.
Buffalo.
Well, that was outside Buffalo.
Outside Buffalo, a town near Buffalo.
Oh, man.
But I don't
forgot
even know
what-
what town that is. I didn't write those words either.
I forgot what are these things called again? I can't remember.
Knobs.
I have a bad
Knob.
Pedals.
Knob. That's what
I have
we're
a
looking-
bad habit.
knob. Okay, thank you. It make no sense to anybody who didn't see last week's video. My favorite part.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. I believe it's our last question of the. It's a little bit long intro to the question, but I'll ask. Apple O asks, well, he states, yesterday I dropped and broke another pint glass out on the patio. We lose a glass every couple years, and this attrition has been going on for long enough that it's time to buy some new pint glasses. So anyway, I immediately thought, I want a big lizard pint glass. A quick search found none. So I say, how cool will it be if there were a set of Dead Milkmen pint glasses with all the album covers? I'd buy one. Do this idea with what you will. I do not work for a pint glass making company or anything. Just a big fan sharing this vision with you all. So there's Apple O. My follow-up to his question was, well, first of all, I can answer his question. I floated the idea among people around here in my house, and they thought that was a pretty good idea. I don't know. Pint glasses get used around here pretty often. But my other follow-up question was, what other unique merch ideas do you guys have for when we play shows? You know, people buy t-shirts and stickers and stuff normally, or vinyl albums or CDs or whatever. I was going to say that based on the past 4 shows that we just played, the posters that we had left over from our last show at the cemetery done by our friend Noah seemed to be pretty popular. We got rid of all those posters that we've had for a while, 2.5 years, 3 years. So I'd like to have more posters made, maybe, you know, for little tours, or maybe even a poster for every show. I think it's kind of cool because I used to like making flyers for the shows that we played in Philly back in the day. So anyway, what do you guys think?
I'm never, I hate to say it, I'm never all that comfortable with merch. If we didn't sell merch, I'd be cool. I mean, obviously I'm comfortable taking the checks from the merch. I always feel kind of weird about it, you know? And I go to other bands and I'll buy their t-shirts and stuff. The D&D game doesn't bother me that much because you can play it. But if you buy like a vinyl re-release and it makes you happy, I'll sign it. That's great. But it always kind of bums me out because I think, you know, you could spend whatever, and I'm going to say $25, probably charge them more for them. You could spend that money buying, there's 25 great new bands out on Bandcamp. You could buy a song each from them. So if you come up to me and say, hey, I didn't buy an album, but you know, I should carry around a list of 25 bands. What are 25 bands I can get? That would make me happier, but I'm not going to tell you if you do buy something, I'm not going to sit there and go, I wish you hadn't bought it. But yeah, it always bums me out a little because I consider myself a punk, and my job isn't usually to sell you stuff. So that's just my take. I know everybody else has a different thing, and when I go to see bands, I'm usually happy if there is some weird little bit of merch. But for me, I just I can never point back to the back and go buy one of our T-shirts or whatever. So,
for me personally, I like the idea of merch because I like seeing the cow logo and things, and I still have a good association in my mind from seeing that growing up. I would love to see it on a pint glass. I think that's cool. I don't really drink, but I think you can drink anything out of it. My follow-up question to Apple O is, what band are you going to ask after you break the Dead Milkmen pint glasses? And my ideas for merch, I didn't have much. I thought about socks.
Oh yeah, socks.
Maybe like a light switch cover.
That's unique.
Yeah.
I also thought socks. Yeah, when I first started going out on solo tours, I thought I could get it. I just didn't bring merch at all. And it actually made some people angry that they couldn't buy anything. Like, people want a memento.
If you want a memento of our show, there's tendonitis. It's what I ended up with.
Posters. I think posters are a great idea, actually.
What are?
Because another thing that came to me was bandanas.
Somebody here mentioned bandanas.
People wear them as masks also these days, but I don't know, maybe a design. And blankets, not that I want to have blankets, but somebody's already making Dead Milkmen blankets, and somebody sent me one, and I have it here. I got it out of storage, and I really don't think it's authorized. In fact, I told this woman that we don't make blankets, and she said, yes, you do. And I said, no, we don't. She sent this to me as proof. And I said, well, it's not authorized. We don't make these things. And I'm pretty sure she got it off a store online.
Yeah, I've seen that before.
Is it flammable?
Probably flammable. It's fleece or whatever. It feels okay. In fact, if you go, I don't recommend that you buy any of these. If you go to Amazon and type in Dead Milkmen blanket, you'll get a bunch of different ones that are all totally not authorized, but it's whatever image that they decided to steal from us and put on a blanket. Also, wall hangings or tapestries or banners or whatever you call them.
The thing I like about posters is that we can actually hire our artist friends to actually design a poster, and and they're into that. So
my friend Mark is always asking for patches, like the old timey sew-on ones.
Yeah, those are good.
Here's an idea. I want to get pint glasses of bands I don't like. That way,
so you can
when they break, I'm okay. Oh no, the Arcade Fire pint glass broke. Whatever shall I do? Yeah, I think that would be a good idea. Maybe that's why they want.
Not that easy to carry on tour.
Yeah, they're heavy.
They're heavy.
And they break.
They break. People don't want to hold on to them at the show, so they're only going to buy them at the
If one gets chipped and you sell it to somebody and they cut their lip, then you're looking at a lawsuit. And yeah,
that's not good.
Yeah, I can see the problems with that. I'd rather have the blanket. Please, people, don't get busy on a Dead Milkmen blanket. I can't deal with that. I don't want to find out anyone was ever conceived on a Dead Milkmen blanket. This is why I really usually don't want anything to do with merch. I'm like, can I just go write some songs? I don't even do interviews anymore, people. So think about how I feel about merch.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for your answers. Thank you, viewers, for your questions. Keep them coming. We will collect more in future episodes and try and answer as many as we can. All right, let's move on to recommendations. So my recommendation for tonight is a YouTube video. There's a YouTuber out there. His goes by the name of Cyberattack. But he's a musician, he's a guitar player, synthesist, and he makes some interesting videos, usually involving, there's some aspect of like video games involved in his videos. But he's got a series of videos, and this one is entitled 5 Ways You Can Push the Pedals You Already Own instead of buying new ones. So this relates to Joe's pedal video. Yep. And basically the first one idea that he has, which is kind of interesting, is say you've got a distortion pedal, try and make it do the opposite thing of what it's designed to do. So you turn the distortion all the way down, you just maybe have the volume up a little bit. And he gives you an example of what it sounds like. It's not entirely clean, but it has a very narrow frequency range. He said, well, it sounds kind of, lame or whatever. But he said, the cool thing about this is it's good for doubling parts. So you can play your regular part with your full-on good sound, and then you can use this and double it up, and it just kind of adds a little extra dimension frequency-wise to the sound that you're making. So I thought it was a really good idea. He's got 4 more ideas about pedals, and he's trying to save you some money and come up with some different ideas. So check it out. It's called 5 Ways You Can Push the Pedals You Already Own instead of buying new ones. It's by a YouTuber called Cyberattack.
And that's why pedals come with these turny things here, whatever they're called. I can't remember. Anyway, okay, folks, if there's something you can keep us talking for hours in the van between shows, it is the SL1 nuclear accident. For those of you who don't know, this took place in 1961 in Idaho, and 3 people were killed. One of them actually took them about a week to get the guys' bodies out of the rafters. And we're often debating in the van, was it a murder-suicide? Because one of the guys, an hour before this, his wife had called and asked for a divorce. So, but it may have been the fact that these guys actually had to take the control rods up manually. They had to grab the rods and lift them to 4 inches. I don't know how 3 people could have ended up dead, but this is the thing. There's a really weird government, and we'll put a link up to the 45-minute version. There's an hour-and-a-half version out there too, but the 40-minute or so version should do you. There's a really weird government video that was made like 2 years or a year or two right after it. And it is the strangest damn thing you'll ever see. I promise you it's real. It's not a mockumentary. It's almost like one of those government videos like agriculture, our friend, and it's kind of like that. This guy being very matter of fact about the accident and how they had to get rid of the remains of the people because they had to bury them in these giant lead coffins. And it's just really odd. And in the background, there's this very pleasant 1950s music, like play. It's really weird. It is without a doubt.
Where did you see it?
I saw it's on YouTube.
Oh.
Yeah. I had I was just every now and then if I'm just kind of bored and stuff, I'll just take the Google map and I'll drop it somewhere. And I dropped it in Idaho where the accident took place, and it landed on S1 nuclear facility. I didn't even know about this. And I'm like, what the hell's this? So I went and looked it up. And I was like, holy shit. And then I found the video, and I'm like, this is the weirdest damn thing I've ever seen. So we'll include a link to the video and then maybe something about the SL1 disaster. The other thing I'm recommending to you folks is the latest episode of my radio show. It's Halloween in May. And that's pretty much all you need to know. So I'll put that out there. And trying to think of, and then tonight, just another quick recommendation. If you get a chance, this is where I'm headed. So we're filming a little early, and then I'm going to run. This is be my first concert that I'm not playing at, or we're not playing at in 2.5 years. And tonight's Frontline Assembly, who I've seen before, really good. But it's Rain, R-E-I-N, who I've wanted to see for years, and I know she's going to be fantastic. And a band called Scissorjicks. And I'm really looking forward to seeing Scissorjicks. So it's 8:30 now. Doors are at 8, and the show starts at 9. So I'm going to have to run from here, hop on the subway, and I'm going to have to finish my beer and get there. So yeah, that's it. Yeah.
I'd like to recommend the new season of Kids in the Hall, and it's on Prime Video. I believe this is the 6th season. All of the same original members. If you don't know what Kids in the Hall is, it's they're a Canadian comedy troupe. They do sketch comedy in a half-hour TV format. And the original series ran from, I think, 89 to 95. So yeah, check it out. It's on Amazon Prime. I would also say that at least for the first episode, and I've only seen 2.5 of them so far, and there are 8. It would help if you have previous knowledge of the movie Brain Candy, which is the Kids in the Hall movie. And it's a brilliant movie. I also recommend that. That's, I think, a 1996 movie. And a little bit of knowledge about what the kids in the hall are for that first episode. And then after that, I think it doesn't matter. It's just funny stuff.
Get your finger out on the face, Don. Get your finger out on the face, Don. Can I do a quick RIP? Oh, wait, Dan's up. Sorry, Dan.
Yeah. No, you can do that because I got to grab something.
Oh, okay. Well, Dan's grabbing something. I want to do a quick RIP to the political career of Congressman Madison Cawthorn, who we mentioned on the show before. At one point, I was actually going to start doing This Week in Cawthorn. We're going to miss him. He provided us with so much entertainment, like being pulled over for driving with a suspended license, or the time he tried to take a gun into an airport twice, or the fact that he met his wife at a fake Pilates contest in Moscow, or the whole orgy story, or the time they had the picture of him in the bra, or when the sex tape came out. And the last two things made me kind of like him. But yeah, he's left politics. And before he left, he might have left us with the greatest quote of all time. He meant to say, the time for gentle politics has come to an end. But what he said was, the time for Gentile politics, or whatever, has come to an end. And maybe, I guess, I don't know. So yeah, Madison Cawthorn, he's gone, but if you look up shit show in the dictionary, his picture is there. And I'm sure he'll be back trying something stupid again.
I want to counteract that with a RIP for Vangelis, who passed away.
Vangelis, yeah.
So anyway, famous for his Blade Runner and Chariots of Fire soundtrack work. Amazing synthesist. Yeah. All right. Sorry, Dan. Back to our regular scheduled programming.
I don't have much of a recommendation, just an idea, because I have like birthday cards and like stuffed animals from the kids. And it's like, you can't let them see you get rid of that stuff because they'll be like, no. So you got to like secretly get rid of it. Or I had this idea, you can take the cards that make noise, like you take the speaker out. Let's see if I can get this one. And then you sew it inside one of the stuffed animals, and then you leave them in places like a gas station or something.
Hallmark used to make a card that you could record your voice into, and everybody made quarter boxes out of them where they would record the quarter and then they could make free phone calls.
Yeah.
So that's where quarter boxes came from.
I worked at Blockbuster many years ago, and one Halloween we got these little cards where when you open it, it would be like, woo! So I immediately took the little device out of like 30 of them, and I hid them all over the place where you open a drawer or something and it would be like, woo! People couldn't find where they were. And customer service job with me, it's not, well, it's fun for me, but not so that's it.
All right,
you just gave a whole bunch of viewers sick ideas.
Thanks for your answers this week. Rodney, have fun at the concert tonight. And,
I will do it's not a fun concert. I'm not there to have fun. I'm there to
we'll
have
see you again next week.
Bring it in.
All right. Thanks a lot, everybody. So long.